Well, welcome everyone to the 8th Annual Mining Law Summit that we've entitled All That Glitters, related to the law of gems and gemstones. And initially, I'd like to introduce Dean Mark Miller, the Dean of the James E. Rogers College of Law at the university. Dean Miller, thank you very much for coming down and participating with us.
John, it's always a pleasure. Here we are. It's the 8th year of the summit and a thriving global mining law and policy program, courses and degrees here. And of course, with the School of Mining, the university's commitment to mining as a policy matter, as an engineering and a technical matter, as a geological matter, as an economic matter, as a social matter, has really stepped forward and been highlighted. So it's thrilling to see us continuing to thrive under your leadership here, and of course with so many others. The topic this year is fascinating. It's a little understood and little focused on area of gemstones. I loved the title of the summit, All That Glitters. It's fantastic. It's an interesting area because of as I understand it, of the range of producers and individuals and institutions involved. It doesn't fit the same patterns as many other kinds of mining, and that will be explored through these sessions. The summit will be shared digitally on November 9th. We've moved to that format to involve more people and create a record. You can go and see the earlier summits as well. There will be opportunity for engagement, but again, this year's discussion of the issues surrounding the mining of gemstones strikes me as wholly in line with the goals when we set out to build this program and with the university's broad commitments to the field. So thank you and congratulations, John.
Well, thank you, Dean Miller. And I will say that the topics that we've looked at are frequently things that I'm interested in, which helps a lot. We started in 2016 looking at the potential solutions for abandoned mines, and we've gone through a number of the topics that you see here. Certainly one of my favorites was the mining law for the heavens and the depths of the seas. And you can see on some of the current news with the return of the samples from the asteroid Bennu. And I think it's significant that part of that sample winds up at the Mineral Museum here in Tucson, and with the other two being, the Smithsonian Institution, some major museum in Texas.
Yep.
Today's topics we're going to take a look at, initially a presentation for the Alfie Norville Gem and Mineral Museum with Director Violetta Wolf and Curator Susan Leib, who is the Executive Director or the Curator at the Gem and Mineral Museum. And for those of you that haven't been out there, you're really missing something if you haven't been there.
I agree, John. It's an extraordinary facility, and here it is in our hometown. So for those in Tucson, you should absolutely make it a priority.
We'll then take a look at the geology of gemstone and the historic representation that is a particular interest of mine, and looking at the references to gems in the Old and New Testament. And then we'll look at the recovery and sale of gemstones with Peter McGaw and his daughter Lauren. And then artisanal mining with Dr. Brad Ross, who talks about his experience in Namibia, and then some of the social impacts and what efforts have been ongoing to in that regard, presented by Professor James Hopkins. I will say that as we go through the topics today, if you would submit your questions through the Q&A icon on the materials or on the screen, and then that allows us to to take a look at the questions and consolidate them, or maybe rephrase them in a way that keep us on time. So I thank you very much for tuning in, and we do preserve the presentations. We post them on YouTube, and you can also look to YouTube to find out some of the previous year's presentations. So I would encourage you to use that facility to take a look at some of the prior presentations that you might be interested in. So that being said, let's go to the presentations. Thank you.